The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good.
Hi, Tom.
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Wave. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning, I'm Nico Haan. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more natural, balanced, wild world.
So we can recover our natural health, our rights, and our freedoms. And I'm Paige Clarke.
That's right, Paige, and it's a beautiful morning here in downtown Clearwater, Florida. 66 degrees, going up to 80 today, and we're just loving this weather.
It's very nice. It's kind of like a nice delayed spring. We'll hang on to that spring weather as long as we can.
Yes, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And you guys can give us a call and let us know what you want to talk about on the show. You can contact me at Paige@TFNN.com.
Or Nico at TFNN.com if you have any questions or suggestions for the show. And we are taking your phone calls here at 877-927-6648.
Hey, Nico, so we're always talking about being healthy, right?
That's the name of the show, right?
And we want to be healthy, and this article came across from the Alliance of Natural Health, B vitamins, deep sixing them the easy way. And what we see, folks, is this is the attempt of organizations to pharmacalize natural medicine. And they're very slowly and very sneakily trying to use loopholes in the system to make natural vitamins hard to get or impossible to get without a prescription. Well, and we'll give you some examples in a minute.
Yeah, one of the things that in jiu-jitsu, I have a couple of people that are pharmacists. Mm-hmm. And the pharmacist of old was a compounding pharmacist that would make up a concoction just for you.
Correct. And they're trying to push out the old compounding pharmacy, and the pharmacists today that you see on the corner are really part of the sales force of the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah, so they want to just standardize everything so you get what everybody else gets, which may not be the right thing. I think compounding makes a lot of sense because this comes from the natural way of doing things. They use all kinds of vitamins and herbs and things like that and make them into a special thing. This is what
remember that chart? Remember that chart that we posted on that one show?
Yeah, I think so.
It was the poster in the pharmacy.
Yeah.
It was all about the herb family.
Yeah.
Remember? We loved that. I think
exactly.
we put it in one of the newsletters. So let's go into this a little bit, folks, because this is something you want to pay attention to, and one of the reasons that you can see a lot of differences, the FDA has figured out a way that they don't have to actually ban B vitamins like they're doing, trying to make it impossible to get B's and C's. They're just doing it in a backdoor way. See, injectable B12, which is used for a lot of people, doctors
for
are
years
using.
and years and years.
Yeah, it's been employed by integrative medicine doctors, particularly, and many conventional doctors, because it really is beneficial to a lot of patients. The B12 is used to treat stress, anxiety, depression, mood-related disorders, memory. We see such a decrease in the B vitamins as people get older.
And the injectable is probably one of the best ways of getting it because you're getting it right where you want it, right?
Well, the reason is that it's such a good way is we have such destroyed gut linings, and where we don't have enough probiotics, as we've talked about, good bugs in our gut making the B vitamins. Those are the critters that make the B vitamins.
Okay, that makes sense.
And if you don't have enough hydrochloric acid, and you're one of those gazillions of people in America today that are buying into that proton pump inhibitor story of, taking these acid reducers, you're absolutely cutting your ability to make these crucial vitamins.
So what you're saying is really that it's our gut and the way we digest our food, how we get our vitamins.
Oh, absolutely. That's how we make vitamins. We can make vitamins, but we've got to be able to get the minerals. Now that's the challenge. See, we can transform minerals, remember?
Right.
That's kind of what the Primal Edge does. It's the alchemic, changes them into forms we can use. But vitamins we synthesize. And so many people are worried about taking a multivitamin. The key word is mineral. the mineral and the enzymes are the catalyst to make the things we need. But let's go down this a little bit more, because this is really important.
Well, one of the things I wanted to mention is that the cost, of course, is driving it also.
It's incredible.
Because it was $30 back in the 60s. You can get a B vitamin shot, and now it's $200, $300.
Yeah, for the bottle. Yeah,
for
for basically a 30 cc vial. So, and what explains this astounding increase, in short, is the direct result of the FDA's war on natural medicine. They want to make it difficult and expensive to get your B vitamins, which we should not. Now, we've talked often about the difference between coal tar, petroleum industry-derived B vitamins, the synthetic chemicals, and then the natural forms that come from once living source vitamins. And when you mention the injection, yes and no. Yeah, it's better if you can't digest it, but if you're injecting forms that are really synthetic coal tar derivatives,
Okay, I see what you mean.
I really, like fully reduced forms when we are doing it. And I also really love, the fermented ones that Premier Research Labs, it was called Max Stress B. It's a probiotic culture of B vitamins. Well, who makes the B vitamins? The probiotics. So why not take them? And, of course, you're not going to see these astounding quantity amount, these 5,000 milligrams in a probiotic culture. It doesn't matter. It's a whole food. It's the living source. And it's in a form that our body readily accepts at the capillary level when you take it in.
So there's another thing, too, that, of course, talking about compounding, the FDA has already banned certain things from the compounding.
They're trying to cut the compounding business. They're trying to make them go out of business.
Yeah, so
they don't want them competing with the pharmaceutical drugstores.
Yeah. Exactly. So things like Boswellia and aloe vera and the product in the cinnamon.
This is ridiculous, folks. These are if you listen to our show, you know how much we've been sharing evidence-based research that these are natural compounds that fight inflammation, help to turn on ideal gene expression, and we're seeing that they are truly targeting these because, in effect, these actually help things work. So we live in an upside-down, backwards world.
Well, also what they're doing, too, these are natural compounds, relatively inexpensive that you can find pretty much anywhere, but they're taking it out of the legal part of it. In other words, they're going to start using the synthetic forms, the kind of forms that they can actually patent.
Right, here it says here, with these draconian regulations and the threat of more to come, it has become especially difficult for doctors to obtain medicine like the B12, compounded B12, in the methylated form. So you all that take Primal Edge recognize that we use methylated methylcobalamin and we use methylfolate in our product because we're giving you the best. We want to make sure you can absorb it. And so this is really a sign of things to come. What really concerns me is the whole story about B6 and the way these drug companies are interfering with our ability to get the highly absorbable, the highly effective forms. And we're very cautious in Primal Edge to have a mix of the B6s and especially the pyridoxal 5-phosphate, which is the one that gives the incredible benefits of B6. It's such an important vitamin.
All forms of B6, natural synthetic, must be converted to the P5P for the body to use them, and the FDA is approves
trying to ban it.
Trying to ban it
based on a pharmaceutical company's petition because they want to make it into a drug. Folks, we got to take action. We got to start letting our legislators know that we want our right to the forms that our bodies can use.
Yeah, so take the Primal Edge. You have 3 minutes coming up for you to do that, and take a look at our newsletter. And you can also call us at 877-927-6648. We'll be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Oh, mercy, mercy me. All things ain't what they used to be. No, no. Oil wasted on the oceans and upon our seas. Fish full of mercury.
Boy, I tell you, I was driving in this morning and I listened to that old Marvin Gaye song, 1970, and I said, wow, what a prophetic piece of music. Isn't it funny how there's people that seem to warn us about things, just that they die? I mean, you know, that song, Only the Good Die Young, I think there's a lot of truth to that. You know, oil wasted on the oceans, mercury, fish are dying. And in another verse he says, radiation in the skies.
And this was in the 60s.
This was 1970.
It's 1970.
Yeah, my little satellite radio told me that. So, folks, you know, let's pay attention. Anyways, I want to address what's going on in the chat rooms at Tao. Yes, we've been talking a lot on the show about the movie Vaxxed. Encourage everyone to go out and support it, even though the movie Vaxxed, which is a movie that explains it's not necessarily an anti-vax movie, folks. That's why you need to see it. It's actually an anti-CDC, as I posted on Facebook, the CDC, Center for Disease Creation. And the movie actually exposes that there is corruption, outright fraud happening at the CDC, and really this goes back to these original studies that Andrew Wakefield, the brilliant doctor who was ostracized, his career ruined by special interest groups, shall we say, that did not want this information of the connection to gut disorders, to autism. And anyone in the world today knows that children that suffer with autistic symptoms, knowing that it's multifactorial, also have gut disturbance. So I encourage you to watch Vaxxed, find a place to see it, support it, and realize that actually the Tribeca Film Festival, denying it, has worked to our benefit. People are talking about it.
Yeah, and in fact, Robert De Niro was on the Today Show and did talk about this and said how important it was to see it. He kind of was at the festival. He was kind of wishy-washy.
He was bullied.
He was bullied.
He was, you know, and people were beating up on Robert De Niro and saying Bobby is tough on screen and he's not in real life. But, you know, I mean, these people, I saw a video that explained all the supporters of the Tribeca Film Festival. It's heads of state, on Merck and all the pharmaceutical companies. Well, what do you expect?
Yeah.
And so he was bullied, but I like it that he came out and kind of encouraged everyone to see this movie. So
yeah, I think it's important for the people to see that. That's for sure.
oh, it's evidently it is improper these days to share some truth. Agree with you, Zital. It's dangerous. It's outright dangerous, as we know about some of these people that have left the planet as a result of actually trying to help people live. So we've done A and we've done B vitamins. Now we're going to talk about vitamin C.
Vitamin C, going to ABC.
That's right. We saw this article. I love John Barron. John Barron's an awesome alternative healer. Vitamin C and cataracts. And what we're talking about a little bit is, why do we get cataracts, and where do they come
Well, it affects
from?
like 24 million people in the U.S. and very common in older people. By age 80, more than half of all Americans either have a cataract or have had cataract surgery. I know my mother had some cataracts when she was in her, I think, 80s. And she had a little operation. But you were mentioning, of course, this is caused by glycation. This is where the protein and the sugars combine. So if you're a sugar eater, if you eat lots of grains, if you eat lots of bread and crackers and things like that.
You're heading down the road for cataracts. There's multiple triggers for cataracts, and there's pathways. And but when it's all said and done, there's only one cause, and it is this buildup. Cataracts occur, folks, when we have a buildup of protein in the lens that makes it cloudy. And the lens itself primarily is made up of water and proteins, but due to high blood sugar level, due to improper minerals in the body, these proteins in the lens are in a perfect physiological chemical balance, ensuring that your eye lens is transparent. But once a cataract starts, however, it's very
kind of
difficult.
A lens over it.
Yeah, it compacts the older cells, and these are kind of known as what they call nuclear cataracts. So,
and in older people, as you get older, the diet kind of changes. You're eating less spicy stuff. That's what we're,
Yeah.
So the compounds, the
Less
natural
savory.
compounds, aren't naturally combining together.
what a lot of my older clients tell me is that I don't crave meat. I don't want any meat anymore.
Right.
Well, when you don't crave something like that, that's a sign that a couple of things. You can't digest it. And as I'm always teaching and sharing, if you can't disinfect, digest, and absorb your food, we're missing the boat, folks. Yeah. And so I see, and especially in my even family, they say, I don't want to eat any meat anymore. You need the meat. I mean, you need to have those sources of protein, let me clarify, that you can break down so you can restore and rebuild. And so that's kind of what's happening. But again, we got age-related cataracts, we've got congenital cataracts, but secondary cataracts that result as a result of other medical conditions. I can share personal experience. This could be things like diabetes, or glaucoma, or exposure to toxic substances, or the result of free radical damage. Now, when my father, before he passed away last year, he had MRSA in his leg, and we were using hyperbaric oxygen chamber to try and help get that wound healing, and he developed cataracts during the hyperbaric. Now, really what would have happened is if I could have gotten him to, take a little more, lower the sugar, which that was always the reason. He had diabetes. He started to develop the cataracts. I was very successful in the short time we had him after that to help him kind of reverse some of that cataract, because I know of a homeopathic formula that is helpful in helping the body dissolve these protein coatings without surgery. So that's something that's kind of interesting. But we do want to state that these traumatic cataracts, or these secondary cataracts, that are a result of other dysbiosis in the body.
Yeah, so antioxidants become really important to fight them, right?
Right, and there you go, vitamin C.
Yeah.
We need to have those vitamin C levels. Vitamin C is the one antioxidant, folks, we do not make. Cats, dogs, and bats. Guinea pigs, bats. Where's my other one? What's my other one? I always tell you. That usually rolls off my tongue, but there's three.
That's because you don't have the rhyme.
Yeah, that's right. I got to have my little rhyme. Don't make their own vitamin C. Humans, that's it. That's the other animal. Us humans, guinea pigs and bats, do not, no longer have that gene switched on to make our own vitamin C. We must get it from our diet. So make sure you're getting vitamin C-rich foods. That doesn't mean you have to eat too many fruits and sugars and throw your sugar out of balance, but fruits are a great source if you're at your ideal weight. And vegetables are loaded with vitamin C,
and there's lots of herbs and things like watercress and things like that have vitamin C.
Love it. Love it, yeah.
So, it's definitely easy. There's this Asian guy that walked into my doctor's office, and he was being examined by the doctor, and the doctor is saying to him, man, you have cataract. He says, no. He says, I have Rincon Continental.
That's funny.
I thought it was good.
All right, so let's go.
I'm glad you laughed.
I did. You know, so we go back to, so you guys have heard us talk about glycation or AGES. You know, it's a great acronym, AGES, AGES, Advanced Glycation End Products. What that is when protein molecules cross-link with sugars. Well, what's the solution, folks? Let's keep the sugars down. How do we keep the sugars down? We keep our blood sugar down. How do we keep our blood sugar down? We keep ourselves in insulin sensitivity. Insulin sensitivity versus insulin resistance. Insulin sensitivity means all of our millions and trillions of cells have receptor sites for insulin. Insulin's the key that lets the sugars be used as fuel for the cell. If they don't, then we end up having rising blood sugar levels. We end up with diabetes. Let's stay insulin sensitive and avoid having all these
Get the
reactions.
sugar out of your life, folks. Get the grains out of your life, the sugars and all
You feel
those
so
little
much better.
processed foods that.
You can still cheat every once in a while.
Well, yeah.
But you got to restore that sensitivity.
90% of the time you're good, and the 10% won't hurt you that much. That's
If you
for
need
sure.
help doing that, we're here to help.
Yes, and the number here is 877-927-6648. Paige and I will be right back.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle. I'm Paige Clarke with Nico Haan. And you know, we're having some activity in the chat room, and I want to talk to Bo Rare. He or she said, fasted for 5 days. My insulin sensitivity increased nicely. Before the fast, I would get sleepy whenever I got the slightest bit dehydrated. Now, very little effect, but still trying to stay hydrated. Thumbs up to you. Hey, listen, Bo, I tell you, I am thrilled and beyond honored to be part of Health Centers of the Future. Just got back from the convention. Dr. Pompa and his team, I am one of their practitioners, so to speak. I'm part of their organization, and we've just launched the True Cellular Detox. True Cellular Detox. I'm just amazed at what this kind of thing is going to do. The cellular healing diet really involves what I teach with my clients is the use of healthy fats, moderate to small amounts of protein, and minimizing sugars and starchy vegetables that can turn to sugar, and utilizing fasting through water fasting supervised, through bone broths, through cultured whey products, through interval fasting, through interval feeding times. So we know that these are the activities that help us to restore insulin sensitivity, that help to raise glutathione, that help us to raise human growth hormone. They are truly anti-aging. The calorie mimetics, meaning reducing calories but increasing total nutrient density, is really the key. Meaning, don't starve yourself on low calories with junk food, but lower your calories to a point where the body learns to be efficient with burning fat. So appreciate your feedback. It is a beautiful full moon. I saw it on my way into the office, and Nico, I don't know, maybe you want to share this. We love Mark Sisson.
Well, it was the first book that I read that my sister gave me, Primal Blueprint, and that kind of started me on the path. One of the interesting things about the paleo movement is that it is really spurring good development of different types of tests that people use on themselves. Doctors are doing this, so we're getting a lot of good information about what you should be eating and how athletes in the past are changing their thought, and especially about the high carb thing, because as you're running, and Mark Sisson was a triathlete for many years and ran for many years, and then started getting injured, much like I did. I got injured with my knees. It just kept getting worse and worse, and I stopped. It was actually around the time I started doing this type of eating that it kind of changed my mind, and exercise too was in that realm of changing, and how we thought now all of a sudden that sprinting is really good for you, and that you don't have to do this endless cardio.
Chronic cardio.
And it's not just chronic cardio, it's chronic anything.
Right.
Because that's the overuse.
Oh, and the body
happens.
loves it when you have variety. And you and I have shown this. Those of you who have been listening to us for years have seen the infographic, and I always just tell my clients, close your eyes. Picture a sprinter and picture a marathon runner. Which body would you rather have?
That's right.
And everyone says the sprinter. The sprinter has that, defined, cut look. The marathon runner is in a state of catabolism.
Yeah. So he's got a new book out called Primal Endurance, and for the last few years he's been doing these kind of tests and examinations on people who are ketogenically adapted. So in other words, the interesting thing to me too, it takes about a year for your body as an athlete to adapt to this. So it's not something that, you might change some of the things that happen to you as far as eating and not having your sugar spike and things like that. But as far as your whole body changing, where you're in an athlete and now really good at burning that fat instead of the sugar. And it just makes so much sense to me. When I went over it in my head, it made sense to me. Mark Sisson last night in a podcast was talking about this and saying, these ultra-marathon runners don't deplete their glycogen. Because they're not running on the glycogen. It's just there as an afterburner. It's there as an assist.
They're picking up those gels and squirting them in their mouth, right?
You're right. You don't need that at 20 miles. And what they're finding out is that your body is not so much giving up, but your head is. Your brain is giving up. Because
it's mindset, folks.
Yeah, so you're using that glycogen, which your body needs, but also your brain needs the glycogen. And that's the part that gets cut out at about the 20-mile mark for the runners. But even in jiu-jitsu or anything that you do, if you hit a wall, it's your brain telling you to slow down, because it's not getting the oxygen, it's not getting the sugar, it's not getting the fat, and your brain runs really, really good on ketosis. It really likes those ketones. It loves ketones. It prefers ketones. It prefers that as opposed to the glycogen, but the glycogen is always still there, so your brain never freezes up. And this is the thing we're finding out, that many of these endurance athletes are starting to switch overs, and the ones that are doing it are breaking all the records.
They're breaking huge records.
And see, it takes more than a year. That's the key, and that's why there was this delay. You know, somebody would try this who wasn't adapted for over a year and say, well, no, it didn't work for me. It's because you have to wait that year before that happens.
And
So
there's a lot of people in the blog sphere that say, oh, I hit the wall, I'm reintroducing carbs because I need them. They just didn't go through the system. Now, I don't purport to be an endurance athlete, but hey, I'm going to give it another try, get back and...
Well, it takes a while, and you don't have to start all in.
Right,
you can slowly start adapting, but this really makes a lot of sense to me.
Well, I'm going to tell you, looking at, when I was at this conference, and Dr. Pompa, fasts usually 20 hours a day, 20 hours between meals. He really tightens his meal, uses a lot of bone broth. Warren as well, kind of heads up the marketing of it. They look great. I mean, they look great. And there was no question in my mind that living a primal ketogenic lifestyle really is youthing. I mean, look at you. I mean, you are... let's face it, I don't know many people in their 70s that are rolling around playing jiu-jitsu.
Well, thanks.
Okay?
That's,
Makes me proud.
I just want everybody to realize that this, I think, is the real answer. Getting rid of these sugars, adapting yourself to a ketogenic diet is really important for your health. But now we're finding out also it's good for strength, it's good for endurance.
Good for performance.
It's good for
And
performance.
it's good for anti-aging,
And it's really good for your brain, and you don't get cataracts.
Right.
Yeah, it is something that you really need to investigate for yourself to become adapted to these things. And you don't have ups and downs in your life, not even physically or mentally, which is
it's
just
so
great.
true. Bo Rare sharing bone broth mentions buying 4 whole chickens, no hormones and organic. That's exactly right. Deboning except the leg bone with the thigh meats attached and wings. Everything else simmers till the thigh bone can be crushed with my fingers. Exactly. Get those nutrition out of the marrow. Save the broth for soup or other uses. Bones blend up for my dogs as a topping on their food. Boy, you are very nice to your dogs.
The whole
Boy, I wish
family's
everybody
involved.
Yeah.
Just call me Johnny.
That's the towel. And so, so talking about the bone broth, boy, I'm telling you, this is hot now. You can actually, you should make your own bone broth, but there are some great companies that are now making it and shipping it to you because they are making it from grass-fed animals or pastured animals, no things. Of course, the best thing is to make your own bone broth. So glad to hear you're doing that. And anyways.
Yeah, well, bone broth to me is just a no-brainer. I like to have a little bit almost on a daily basis. I don't, but
tremendous
I
for weight loss and beauty.
Yeah, weight loss.
I'm doing
so if you want to go on
right
a kind of a little diet where you want to lose weight, bone broth is definitely the way to go.
Well, and also increasing those fasted periods. Let's say we eat at 6 or 7, and then we wake up in the morning. And we maybe we just have water, maybe we have herbal teas, maybe we have coffee, maybe we add our little healthy fats to it.
But you won't get as hungry with
Let's have the bone broth, and then try and have your first.
It has good fat in it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and it's got all the minerals. Ooh, good mineral chelator. All right, we got to go to a break.
Okay, so we'll be right back. 877-927-6664 is the number. We'll be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated folic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico and Paige here, living a primal lifestyle. It's getting a little chilly in here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always chilly in here. That's why I have to, even though we live in Florida, the studio is very cold.
That was an intro to our next thing.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
You blew it.
You know what? We've been thinking so much about how to lose body fat, and there's yet another tip, tool, and technique right here that we want to share with you. Thermogenesis, cold thermogenesis. Nico, take it away.
Well, the thing about that is, of course, cold, if you have inflammation, you put cold on it. I've had problems with my knee.
Yeah,
and
all you
quads.
athletes do that.
Yeah, and we ice, but just getting into the ice themselves, like the polar bear type of club, or just getting into a tub of ice. Athletes have used this for years. A lot of guys at jiu-jitsu are former wrestlers or still wrestlers, and they get in the tank to lose weight, to to get down to weight.
What do you mean the tank?
They have a tank that you just get into it, and it's full of ice.
Oh, it is
water and ice. Yeah,
okay.
you just get into that, and of course, shocks your system. Gets used to it fast, but to stay in there, it turns your body into you're freezing and you're shivering, and it makes your body really move without really moving, in a sense.
Well, Ben Greenfield, he kind of blogs on all of this stuff.
He wrote an article on this.
Yeah, he wrote an article about cold thermogenesis. In short, these therapies, this process of forcing your body to shiver, the shivering temperatures for extended periods of time, is a great way to lose excess body fat. Yep. And, there are some additional benefits, not just losing body fat.
Increases your hormone levels, improves sexual performance and fertility.
Obviously lowering blood sugar and restoring insulin sensitivity.
Yeah.
Fixes thyroid issues. Again, we're helping to lower inflammation. A lot of thyroid issues are related to inflammation.
Yeah, and it cuts your food cravings. I thought that was really interesting, too. And it also fixes your thyroid issues. And I'm not sure how it does that, but...
It enhances the immune function, I think, generally, when the immune function is enhanced. And, of course, we see an increase in pain tolerance and just an overall reduction in inflammation. Inflammation being the key component in most dis-ease. But, if you want to get started on this...
Yeah, you got to start
How
slow.
do you start, people?
Start
And again, how do you do this? Well, maybe you just start with the end of your showering period, switching it over all the way to cold, and just grinning and bearing it. Start with 2 or 3 minutes, increase it to 5 minutes. The challenge we have here in Florida is once we get into this time period going forward into the summer. Starting in May, we can't get really cold water out of our faucets.
No, but you still see the difference. A lot of the things I do, even in the summertime, is get into the hot tub, get that up to about 104, and then jump into the other water, which may be 85, not really shivering, but it is a distinct difference, and your body adapts, and then you go back into the hot.
That is good. You know, when health spas first came about in the 70s,
Yeah.
I changed my ID so I could join one when I was underage.
Oh.
And it was called European Health Spas. And what they had was they had saunas, and then they had a polar splash.
Oh, they did.
And it was
they
like
were
this,
way ahead of the time.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you know, again, ancient wisdom, modern techniques. These are all techniques that they've known for years. Father of medicine Hippocrates had people do these types of bathing.
Yeah, but standing under the shower, even in the summertime here in Florida, you can get used to that, and when winter comes, you get a little cooler, and I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
This is
I
really
think
tough for me because I can't stand to be cold. I really don't. I mean, and if I would go swimming in the ocean, it would probably be a good thing. I mean, we've got the ocean, but I just can't stand to be cold. But I'm going to do this.
It's really much easier than just not walking in is a problem always, because you're.
It's better just to splash, go in.
That's the best thing.
Or
if you got
turn
a
that
pool,
cold water on and
just get
stay
right
in there.
in it and stay in there. That's definitely the best way of doing it.
I think starting between now, I'm going to start doing
Yeah.
this cold shower
Well,
thing.
I think you should.
And
It's good.
you need to hold me to it.
Well.
Okay, you
I'll
got to
come
challenge
by.
me. Will you at least challenge me here and say, did you get your cold shower today?
So if you're interested, we suggest, of course, starting off slow. Try taking cold 5-minute showers every morning. Turn the temperature down as far as you can handle. If you can't endure 5 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, like
Yeah, you gotta
said,
move
even
it
a
up.
minute. Yeah. In Ben's article, he provides a more depth look of how this therapy works and the benefits of the cold exposure, which include BAT activation. That's the brown
Activated adipose tissue,
Yeah.
the brown fat. The white fat is the blubbery cellulite fat, but the brown fat is actually a kind of like an endocrine organ, and we want to
Isn't it-
activate it. It helps you burn fat.
Yeah, and that's where the toxins probably are in the more brown, are they?
Well, the toxins are everywhere.
Are they?
That's
Okay.
the whole point, and that's why, like I tell you folks, I'm so thrilled to be a part of True Cellular Detox. We're going to put together a little flyer for the next newsletter where I can explain to you guys how to get more information, how to work with me personally on True Cellular Detox. Because one of the reasons I love to say, hey, have you joined the 10-pound club? Many of us have joined that 30 times. We've lost and lost and gained that 30 pounds many times. And what the reason is that these toxins that today our bodies used to be able to self-cleanse. What we call the downstream detox. It's the liver cleanses, the colon cleanses, the urinary cleanses. These are all wonderful cleanses, but the point is why do people still feel bad? Why are they not feeling well? It's because these toxins are stuck inside the cell. And as we say, you can't get well until you heal the cell.
That's right.
We've got to restore these cell membranes. We have to find true binding agents that will bind these toxins and help them get through the downstream detoxification. So
right.
True Cellular Detox is upstream detoxification. Hardly anyone's doing it. I'm doing it. Some of my other colleagues are doing it. Contact me if you're interested.
So some of the other benefits are enhancing the immune system itself, increasing the cell longevity. Remember, the cells kind of replace each other about every 7 years, is what I was told in high school, I remember.
Well, the cell's immortal, actually.
Yeah, so this stretches that out to the maximum length, so as it gets replaced, then it's still healthy. You're not replacing something bad immediately.
So
I
what do you
that's-
think? Maybe the science of immortality is understanding how the cell needs to be well and restoring the membrane function, how that gets stuff in and out.
Yeah.
And, then what happens then? Then these hormones get restored that are our...
Yeah. Also,
beautifying.
of course, it gives you a higher metabolism and also lowers your blood sugar. So there's many, many things. And in an article, he really talks about, this thing was really talking about burning fat.
Right.
But it has so many different things that are good for you.
Well, of
It
course,
really-
we're seeing that the tremendous connection between obesity and aging. So it would make sense that all these other immortality benefits, these healthful living benefits, come when we can decrease the fat. But we got to bind the fat. We got to get these toxins gone for good, so we don't just recycle them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cold therapy is great. Heat therapy is wonderful. Of course, we've talked many times about the far infrared and the near infrared therapies.
And you've got that great shower system,
that
set up,
works.
the sauna shower system
in
he's
fact,
done.
we had a
Of course,
guest-
he doesn't plug in, turn on any water when he's doing that.
No. But
No.
my system is really, we had a guest over last night, so I had to take it down so they could use the
No
shower.
biggie?
No biggie. It took me 5 minutes to take it down and put it right back up. And it's an inexpensive system.
And you know
gives
that
the
I
best.
sleep on our infrared mat called the Earth Wrap.
Right.
And that's made from rose granite. Premier Research Labs worked with a brilliant gentleman friend of mine, Robbie Bessner, who is the owner and developer of Therasage, the jade mats. Now, both of these stones help to create full spectrum infrared. And even in the summer, I turn it on, sleep with it, because I'm getting those that spectrum of light that we don't get unless we're
really important.
So we need some hot, we need some cold, and maybe we need to be really smart about shaking it up and switching between the two.
I think so.
Okay, so that's my goal. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Those of you that are up north, you probably don't have a lot of problem getting cold water out of the tap.
So easy for you to do it.
You know, hit your iPhone near the shower, hear a song, and just stand in the water through the whole song. Jump up and down.
Increase your breathing. You know, you breathe a little bit deeper and hold it a little bit longer, and this all helps for you to kind of acclimate yourself to this type of therapy. So.
All right, so we're going to be right back. Maybe we'll talk for just a moment. Poison for breakfast, anyone? You know, there's some evidence that that's what's in a lot of the breakfast foods Americans are eating today. So we'll be right back. Give us a call, 877-927-6648.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. Join John Logan as he teaches you trading techniques utilizing the TAS Profile Scanner. The Global Market Pulse, next on TFNN.
Welcome back. By now it's become common knowledge that glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup, the most common weed killer in the world, poses many grave threats to human health and has been classified as a possible carcinogenic by the World Health Association.
Well, you know, as it's become increasingly prevalent, it's turning up in blood, urine, and even breast milk, God forbid. You know, these children are getting exposed to it. But to dig deeper, just to see how pervasive glyphosate is in the food system. The Alliance of Natural Health tested 24 popular breakfast foods and ingredients, and these included such items as flour, cornflakes, bagels, yogurt, potatoes, organic eggs, and coffee creamers. And they have a full white paper on how these results came out. Notice many of those foods, probably 60-70% of them, are grain, starchy foods,
That's
including even Frankie
right
foods.
there.
Yeah. So again, these are the foods that are agricultural, that are being sprayed. As we know, the Monsanto Roundup spray is being sprayed on crops to make harvesting easier. It absolutely does nothing other than to make it easier for them to.
Of course, there's a lot of
pick.
overspray that happens. And when you're buying eggs that are just organic, it's not as good because they might be overspray. If there's pastured, very unlikely that any of the spray has been in that pasture. There may be some drift
Well, there
here
could
and
be
there.
some farmers,
Right,
in the
but
neighborhood.
I think you have a better chance because it's a larger area.
Right.
So if they're just raised in a farm, they could be exposed. So I would recommend highly that you not just organic eggs, but pastured eggs, and better yet, find a farmer and see what's around him, and then I think you have a pretty good.
But this is sad. The findings do confirm that what they feared, that our food system is being saturated by glyphosate. Glyphosate is the toxin that we believe is actually the devil in the deal in terms of causing the severe health issues that we're seeing so far. May or may not actually be the gluten itself. I think it's a combination. It's the hybridization of glutinous type of products, and then combined with this toxic pesticide that literally turns our guts into a pesticide.
So these products, these chemicals are also being found in things like gauze, cotton balls, feminine projects like the pads and the tampons.
That's scary.
Yeah, that's scary. So you really have to start doing your research and get better sources of these. I don't know where you would find that, but I don't buy these things.
So when people say it doesn't matter if you buy organic, I mean, it really does, folks, because, these toxins are cumulative. These toxins build up in our cells. These toxins build up, and these eliminative organs downstream can't deal with them, so they store them in our fat cells, and they stay there for years, decades, even, 40, 50 years at our age. These are the same toxins that are just entirely too difficult without the proper techniques to help remove them from the body.
And we need two different systems going on here. I'm thinking about, first of all, of course, we want the best food possible and free from the chemicals as much as we can, but then we have to look at the other end. We have to do the work for the detoxification that we always talk about. So we can get these things that do, by accident, get in there, we want them out of there.
Well, we've always discussed the fact that we were designed to be self-cleansing, self-healing organisms, and that has been true for centuries and centuries, and ancient cultures knew how to do what I called health and hygiene. See, medicine today has nothing to do with health and hygiene.
Right.
Hygiene is cleansing, just like you change the oil in your car, change a few belts and rods and hoses and all that stuff. We need to do that in our bodies. Yeah. And previously, we have been very successful at doing these, what I said again, is what we call the downstream cleanses, the cleanses of the eliminative organs. But now these organs are overwhelmed. They can't do it. We detox, but we retox. Get it? We detox and we retox because these toxins cannot be released. That we have to get into the cell. We've got to bind them with effective binding agents. You need to work with someone who can help you, and I'm one of those people.
Yeah, and the thing to do is don't just do one of these things that we talk about, the detox, the great food, taking the primal edge, doing different types of detox, all important today more than ever.
That's right, and this was an important show, and we hope you have a fantastic day. Stay healthy, keep in touch with us. We'll see you next show.
Thanks for sticking around, folks. Bye-bye.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.